Hello, everybody. It's David Perlmutter. I'm the CEO and founder of Quantum Listing. I am also a commercial real estate broker, have been since 1986. 1989, I started Perlmutter Properties, which I continue to operate today. We're based in New York and are licensed in New York, Connecticut, and we're partners in a New Jersey brokerage. So uh, we came to Quantum Listing from a point of view of seeing a problem and wanting to solve it in a way that made us happy. Uh, so today we are going to focus on how to promote your brand and your listings with on-demand advertising so you can drive more clicks to your listings and find a buyer or tenant or your next client more easily. You'll learn how Quantum Listing lets you harness the power of on-demand advertising to promote your listings and your company or your personal brand. Ev Williams, who is the co-founder of Twitter, said that the internet makes human desires more easily attainable. In other words, it offers convenience. Convenience on the internet is basically achieved by two things: speed and cognitive ease. Uh, Before we really get into things, though, I'd like to spend a moment first telling you what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to give you a quick overview, of Quantum Listing. We'll be discussing the on-demand advertising options, which we recently introduced, including listing promotion, where you can move your listing to the top of searches in their market; brand promotion, where you can place a banner ad so that in when somebody is searching in your market, your little advertisement will be prominently placed. And then the third new feature is online advertising through the Google Display Network, which we think is going to be very exciting and helpful, as will the other new features. We'll also be talking about Quantum Listing's lead capture, our new email blast feature, and then we'll run through our upcoming webinars and ask you if you have any questions. And of course, we will provide our contact information for you so you can get in touch with us. So before we really get into this, let's give you a overview of Quantum Listing. I'm sure some of you listening or watching are new to Quantum Listing. So Quantum Listing is a nationwide crowdsourced commercial real estate listing service. Crowdsourced basically means we count on you to add the listings. That's one of the ways that we keep our prices very low. We do offer options for you to syndicate your listings. If you are a build-out user, you can syndicate your listings from build-out to us. Also with Sharp Launch. Right now we have other syndication partnerships where your listings can go out to other services, including Levitt Digital, which has a nationwide network of over 500 news sites, and CRE Collaborative is our newest syndication partnership, and you can send your listings out to them. And if you are a CRE Collaborative subscriber, you'll be able to use their data enhancement service with Quantum Listing as well. So yeah, one of the other things that distinguishes us from some of the other sites is that all of our listings are searchable by anyone with an internet connection. There's no paywall or registration necessary to search or access our listings and your contact information. All new members of Quantum Listing get a trial premium membership, after which the price is just $79.99 per agent per year. Brokers and owners can post an unlimited number of listings for the same annual price, that's $79.99. Members can use Quantum Listing to serve their listings or deliver their listings to their website or blog, and that's also at no additional cost. You can do it in a couple of different ways. You can either share your profile, your Quantum Listing profile, which has all of your listings on it, to a page, and you can also serve each individual listing to its own page if you prefer, or you can do both. And of course, that is included in your $79.99 per year. When people join Quantum Listing, we give them a network based on their geographic area, as well as a geographically based group to which they can post their commercial real estate wants, which is another kind of neat thing that we do here. And we take care of that for you. If you want to join other networks or groups, you can do that also. No extra charge for that. Quantum Listing shares your listings to its social media feeds on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So we try to give you a little extra exposure that way. Premium members also can access real-time analytics for their listing views, their profile views, listing shares, and there's a couple more analytics in there. And we have free mobile apps for iOS and Android. We see commercial real estate as a collegial business and commercial real estate tech as well. So these partnerships that we have, which I just alluded to before, with Build Out, Sharp Launch, and Levitt Digital, are also, we also have another partnership with StackSource, which is a terrific online financing platform. So any for sale listings have a button to which your customers can put in their deal parameters for financing, and StackSource will share that with their array of financing companies, and maybe you'll will facilitate a deal because your customers will be able to get financing a little bit more easily. We do not lock you into an annual contract that auto renews if you forget to cancel it. We do the membership options. In addition to the $79.99 a year, there is a monthly option and a quarterly option as well. The most cost-effective one is, of course, the annual one. On-demand advertising is what we're here to talk about today, so we'll get into that a little more depth soon. And we have this new lead capture service that you can subscribe to as well, and a new email blasting service that lets you blast your listings to your proprietary distribution list by uploading a Excel file. So that is Quantum Listing in a nutshell. So before we get into listing promotion and our other new on-demand services, I'd like to just spend a moment or two talking about the rise of the on-demand economy. Because of that speed and cognitive ease that drives all things internet, we're seeing a real change in the world around us. On-demand services have made many, many marketplaces more cost-effective and efficient. For example, companies like Uber and Lyft lessen the need for many people to own cars or use more expensive taxis and car services. Airbnb provides a convenient alternative to conventional hotels. DoorDash and Grubhub deliver any type of cuisine to your home or workplace, even from restaurants that don't ordinarily deliver. Online companies like Fiverr and Freelancer give anybody access to an incredible range of skilled workers, from graphic designers to computer programmers. In fact, I found my first app developer for Quantum Listing through freelancer.com. So I have practiced what I am preaching. So the other thing that sort of is driving our on-demand advertising and promotion choices is, I've been using online uh, listing services for over 20 years, and the industry leaders have gotten much more expensive as they've grown their infrastructure, and they've increased their own advertising and marketing expenditures. In fact, in my brokerage business, I just got a renewal notice for one of those services, and I have a 15 listing premium plan for that service. And I do it because my customers want to have their listings on that service, and I have to do what's right for my customers. And they are charging, they are increasing the price from $6,000 a year roughly to $8,000 a year. So that's a pretty big jump for 1 year, and that's after the previous year going from like 4,000 to 6,000. Uh, wait, yeah, those are roughly the numbers. So at $79.99 a year for unlimited listings, and again, that plan that I was talking about is for 15 listings. So Quantum Listing lets you add as many listings as you want. So for that incremental for that difference, there's a big gap between $80 and $8,000. Even if we're just $6,000, it's still a huge gap. So how do we do it? Well, one of the ways that we keep our prices so low is, as we said before, we ask you to add your listings to the service unless you're using one of our syndication partners. And we have great search engine optimization. We send out your listings to our social media. But what we haven't been doing, and intentionally not doing, is spending a lot of money on Google advertising. And so Google advertising is great. It's effective. A lot of people start their searches on Google. So it's an important resource for everybody on the planet with a computer, pretty much. So we were thinking about how we could keep our prices low for everybody, yet let people who are interested in internet advertising do it, and do it very easily. So we're going to get to that in a bit, but we have a couple of other options that we'd like to talk about. First, about how you can promote your listings so they get more exposure within the Quantum Listing ecosystem. So the first one that we have is listing promotion. So if you subscribe to listing promotion, and you can do this on a weekly or a monthly basis, it will bring your listings to the top of searches within our site. And again, it's for really not a lot. It's $2.50 per listing per week, or $7.50 per listing for a month. And the listings will rotate through the order, but with listing promotions, yours always stay on top. So what we mean by this is that if you're searching in Westchester County, New York, for instance, the newest listings generally are the ones that are going to show up at the top. But if you are searching in Westchester and you have a promoted listing, your listing will be the one that shows at the top. And the way that you can know if a listing is being promoted, or whether it's a basic listing, is the promoted listing has the green outline around it, which you can see here on this particular image right there. So hang on a second. Did I miss one? Oh, here we go. All right. So the next new on-demand service that we have, which is a way for you to get more exposure, is brand promotion. You can promote your company or your personal brand in your market through our brand promotion feature. And your banner will appear at the top of Quantum Listing searches in the market that you select. And this is a great opportunity for agents who are looking to separate themselves from the crowd. And it's also especially a great thing for tenant reps who don't have listings, because this is a way for them to get exposure to people searching in the markets that they work. We also think that this works great with our lead capture feature, which we'll talk about later. So you can see here on the left, again, it's indicated by a green outline. I placed a brand promotion advertisement on Quantum Listing for Mount Kisco, which is one of the markets that I serve, and where I have a listing, a bank for sublease. So this is just another way for you to get that exposure. What happens when people click on the brand promotion, it goes to their Quantum Listing profile page, which hopefully you've spent some time working on, so that you have a profile picture or a logo there, that you have links to your social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, whichever social media you're active in. And for real estate, LinkedIn is probably super important. And you can also add your personal corporate bio to your profile page. It's also, and it's good to do this for a few reasons. One is when people are searching your name on Google, a lot of times you're going to come up, especially if they say, David Perlmutter Real Estate, my Quantum Listing profile is going to come up on that first page, and people are going to click through, and you want to give your potential customers and clients as well-rounded a view of you and who you are as possible. So I would encourage you to spend a little time. If you need help setting up your profile, we are happy to help you with that. Just click on the schedule a demo button at the top of every page on Quantum Listing and select the 15-minute profile tune-up, and we'll walk you through that. Otherwise, you can look in the How It Works section on our site, and there's good instructions there as well. So then the third new feature that we have, the online advertisement. So what we've done is we've created a really, really easy way for you to use the Google AdWords display network to promote your listings. And there's a minimum budget of $25 per listing. It does take about 24 hours for Google to approve the ad. I think as we get more and more traffic going, more people buying those ads, it will start taking less time. And Google has certain guidelines, and when you're adding your listings, you're not necessarily thinking about, oh, gee, what are the Google guidelines for advertising online? At least you're not thinking about that today, but after you do this for a while and you see it works, you might think about that. But there are things like you can't have an exclamation point in the title of your listing. So, we have to go in and monitor your ad and make sure that it's fitting those Google advertising guidelines. And there's other things like I had an ad that we were doing during our testing period that mentioned CVS and ShopRite in the ad, and because the um, link went to Quantum Listing and not to the CVS website or the ShopRite website, we had to edit that and get it reapproved so that that ad would function properly. So it was a little bit of a learning curve for all of us, and we're getting pretty good at it now that we've been testing it for several weeks. But it will take substantial work on our part to make sure that your ads are getting served the way they should be. So the minimum budget again is $25 per listing. I think we've got it set for to spend a maximum of $5 per day on per listing. And there are two different types of Google ads. There's Google cost per click advertising and Google cost per thousand views. So you should know that we're using the Google CPM, or cost per thousand views, advertising rather than cost per click. Cost per click can be prohibitively expensive in some markets, especially since real estate generally is a high value product. The people bid those ads up very high. So a single click could blow your whole $25 budget. So with the $5 per day CPM advertising, you're going to find that you'll probably get, for every dollar you're spending, somewhere between 500 and 1,000 views, and um, every dollar. Yeah, for every dollar, you're probably getting between 500 and 1,000 views. And again, this varies market to market based on bids. If you put in, New York City as your place, it's going to be more expensive than if you're doing Peoria, Illinois. Uh, so, understand that, and it's variable. We have no control over what it charges. We can adjust the bid on our end if we see it's getting no traffic or whatever. But it's a very much more cost-effective way to get your product into as many people's eyeballs as possible. Um, so there's 25. We have three options on the budget per listing. There's $25 per listing, $50, and $100. I imagine that most people, when they're first starting out, till they see, how it's going to work, they'll probably use something on the lower end. And once they realize that it's driving traffic to their listing and they're getting some phone calls, they may decide to try something a little more ambitious. So we hope it works for you and that you'll give it a try. And we would love to get your feedback from it too if you are trying it. And if you don't try it, we'd like to hear why you don't want to try it as well. And again, we'll give you our contact info at the end, or you can, any comments on it, please feel free to put them in the chat box right now. So let's keep going. So one of the other new features we introduced recently is lead capture from our, and there are two different places, a few different lead capture options here. But the one that we're talking about right now is lead capture from our landing page. So website visitors can submit a property search form from the homepage, and the lead gets distributed to the members who have enrolled in lead capture in that geographic area on a rotating basis. So if somebody is interested in getting help from a commercial real estate professional like you, and they go to that landing page, if they look at this box up here is they're searching directly on Quantum Listing, and this one gives them an opportunity to get help from you or your peers who have subscribed to lead capture. So this is what that lead capture form looks like. We want to make it as easy as possible so that people will in fact fill it out. We ask them to fill out the asset class and the transaction type that they want it. They have to put in the minimum and maximum size. They have the option to add their budget when they need it, what their ideal lease term is. They have to definitely add their contact information, their first name, last name, email, and phone. They also need to add the location where they want to be. And they don't need to add a specific address. It could be, I want to, get space in Buffalo, New York. And we also, if they would like, can add some more details up here about what it is that they're looking for. We do require that people click that checkbox that says, I confirm that this information may be shared with a professional. As I'm sure most of you are aware, internet privacy is rightfully becoming a much greater concern in this world, and we want to stay ahead of the curve. In Europe, you can't give your personal information without your explicit consent. It's definitely coming to the US. I think it's legislation has been passed in California and probably will be coming to the rest of the country before too long. So that's why that little checkbox is there. Then if you have listings, after 15 seconds, this pop-up that you see on the left here shows up. And what happens is it will pre-populate the address of your listing, and you'll be able to get them to hopefully add their name, address, phone, and contact information, as well as the size that they're looking for. If this particular asset is a office space for lease, so that is pre-populated. And then if they fill out all that information, they can click add request, and that information will go to you. You'll get an email notification when you have a new lead, and then you'll also be able to find your accumulated leads in the info section on your profile page. And so that this doesn't become a nuisance, if somebody is just looking casually, they can click that little box there that says don't show this message again. So one of the other ways that you can help get more exposure for your listings is by using Quantum Listing to blast out your emails. And John, I see you asked a question. I'll get to that in a moment. According to MailChimp, email marketing on average yields a return on investment of $38 for every dollar you spend. So we can do that one better, hopefully, by not having an upcharge for sending out email blasts using Quantum Listing. So what happens, and the way this works, and we'll show this to you on our next slide, is all you need to do is upload an XLS file, which is an Excel file, with email addresses, and you add a subject line and a message to the recipient, and you hit send, and off it goes. And you can do it for 10 people, you can do it for 100 people, you can do it for 1,000 people. It's really an incredible value that we're adding, and it goes to the people that and who are, and therefore presumably the people that are most interested because they're people that are in your database. So we think that is a great way to do it. We didn't want to add more to the proliferation of emails that can be often bothersome and irrelevant, because if you're a broker like me and you get 300 or 400 emails a day of listings from all over the country. I work in the New York metropolitan area, so although it's kind of interesting sometimes to see what's for sale in Texas, um, it's not necessarily particularly relevant to me. So we wanted to make sure that when we offered a email blasting service, that it was a way for you to target it to a population that is completely relevant to you. So here we go. And I promised John after this next slide, or two more slides, we'll get to you on your question. So when people reply to the email, it goes to you. So that is also helpful. This is what one of those emails looks like. You'll see again on the next slide how easy it is. I'll say it again because I think it's pretty cool. It's included in your $79.99 a year per agent cost. There's no extra service. I've used Constant Contact. I've used MailChimp. I've used Robly, and there's a monthly fee for each of these. And here we are giving it to you with the rest of the service. But again, that you do have to make sure that your membership is current. So here is a little video. It takes less than a minute, and hopefully it's not too laggy. And it will show you.
Hi, David from Quantum Listing. I want to show you how easy it is to send an email blast in Quantum Listing. First, select a listing. Scroll down to the sharing icon. Click the email icon. Click Add an XLS file. You can add an XLS or XLSX file. Add a subject. And add a message. Scroll down and hit send. And that's all there is to it.
Okay, so let me get to your question, John. Do your views last as long until they're all used up? I'm assuming this is on Google AdWords. Okay, thanks for the clarification. So yeah, so your budget will you'll keep going until your dollars are all used up. In the interest of full disclosure, we do take a small piece of this of that $25, and that's because we had to pay to program this thing, and we have to use human beings to monitor it, and human beings require paying. So it's at least $20 of that $25 is going to actual views of your ad. And anybody can do this themselves. I can tell you, since I've done this before, figuring out how to do Google AdWords is a pain in the neck. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of work. So I would say that the little vig that we get on this is probably money well spent by you, since you're better off making deals than trying to figure out how to work Google AdWords. I hope that answered your question. If not, please let me know. We do have some great webinars coming up in the next 3 weeks. Next Wednesday, we have a return engagement from Andrew Bermudez, and he will be talking about proven tactics to find tenants for your listings faster. I hope one of his tactics includes promoting your listings on Quantum Listing and promoting your brand and using us for AdWords. We'll have on August 21st a triple threat, Rebecca Carlson. Rebecca is a commercial real estate broker in Illinois, and she also has a marketing company, and she's the head of the Northern Illinois Commercial Association of Realtors. Really wonderful person, and looking forward to having that conversation with Rebecca. And then August 28th, Kent Fitzpatrick is going to be talking to us about how to leverage 1031 exchanges, Delaware's statutory trusts, and qualified opportunity zones. So a lot of us, know about 1031 exchanges, whether or not we've actually done them already. Kent is an expert in that, and about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had a conversation with him, and he started telling me about Delaware statutory trusts. I'm not even going to begin to try to explain what they are, but they are something that you should definitely be aware of if you aren't already, because they can be very, very beneficial to your buyers and sellers. And opportunity zones, of course, are one of the great hot topics. And everybody knows a little bit about opportunity zones. Kent knows a lot, and he's great at communicating. And I'm looking forward to hearing him tell us a little bit more about opportunity zones so that I can get a little bit smarter on that topic for my brokerage customers. So let's, for a moment, review the pricing for all these different on-demand services. So the listing promotion, as I believe I mentioned before, so it's $2.50 a week or $7.50 per month per listing. Your brand promotion is going to be $50 a month or $125 for 3 months or $400 for a year. And we think that's going to get you a lot more exposure. I've seen similar things on Zillow, for instance, and I think those people that are using it on Zillow are really setting themselves up for success. So I'm hoping it is as effective here on Quantum Listing. And then, of course, lead capture is something that you'll want to look into as well. It's $10 a month for your chosen market, or $24.99 for 3 months, or $79.99 a year for a year. I guess that's a little redundant. And then online advertising will start at $25 a month per listing. And if you are a believer, you can up the budget to $50 or $100. And it really, there's no difference between one of those or the other. It's just, and for any of these things, really, it's just a matter of convenience. How often do you want to have to monitor it and go back and see what's going on? Premium membership, as I already said, is $9.99 a month, $24.99 for 3 months, and $79.99 for a year per agent. And those email blasts are going to be included with premium membership. There are lots of wonderful ways for you to get in touch with us and also to learn more about Quantum Listing. You can look at our How It Works section, which is very user-friendly and searchable. You can schedule a demo by clicking on the Schedule a Demo button. On the bottom of most pages, there is a little circle that looks like a smiling speech bubble. It's intercom, and that is another way to get in touch with us. And we're pretty responsive to that if you're awake. And email, you can also email us at support@quantumlisting.com. We have a wonderful comment from Emily that says way more reasonable than CoStar. And so thank you, Emily, for that. In some ways, and I guess I kind of started out by talking about the on-demand economy, and there are times when you feel really great about a listing and you want to dump a lot of money into promoting it. Say for instance you've got a $10 million property that you're selling. You're probably going to want to spend more money on that than an office space that you're renting for $1,500 a month, because the payoff is a lot bigger on that office. So it makes sense to have the option to spend the money where you think it's going to have the highest return. Uh, Also, you may be going on vacation to Europe for 2 weeks and not really want to promote your listings heavily while you're away. So, this gives you a very tailored approach to promoting your listings rather than a very expensive, very generic, one size fits all uh, type of approach to it. So, we think it makes a lot of sense for you and hopefully for us as well. So we are confident that you'll see results when you try these new services, and you'll be able to track them on a daily basis by checking the analytics section on your profile page. Because these are truly on-demand services. Again, there's no contract that locks you into paying for more than you want. Your satisfaction is going to be the sole determinant of your continued use of these services. Quantum Listing on-demand advertising is very user-friendly, but we all know that it is often helpful to have someone answer your questions and give you guidance when trying something new. So you can use that schedule a demo button at the top of our pages on our site to schedule a demo. I think the one that you might need the most help with would be the brand promotion. There are guidelines on our site about how to create the graphic you need. But if you don't have those skills, which is fine and understandable, your guys are real estate professionals. We're happy to help you out with that. There's a very good tool called Canva. It's canva.com, which is very user-friendly and easy, and there is a free version of it, and you can use that to do the graphics. It's what we do most of our graphics on. So we would recommend that. And again, if you don't have the skill set to do that, we're happy to help you on our end. So we've got some extra time, so maybe we'll take a stroll over to Quantum Listing and have a look at some of these features in real life. And if you have any questions while we're going through this, please put them in the chat box. If you prefer, you can unmute yourself. It's all good. So all these different on-demand services are going to originate from your profile page. And you get to your profile page by clicking on the Head and Shoulders avatar at the top right of all of our pages on Quantum Listing. So for and where you're going to start those orders for these different things is here, where it says expires on, or if you're expired on. You do, to create orders for any of these different things, you have to make sure that your membership is current. And if you are doing a 3-month order for something, you got to make sure that you have at least 3 months on your membership. So you can see here on the payment page, there are the different options up here at the top. So if you need to renew your membership, this is where you'll start the whole process. And so do that before you try to add one of the other services. We don't want you to, get frustrated or spend more time on it than you need to. Lead capture. You click on this, to create that order. You'll enter the location that you want to do it for. Let's see, I might as well do it in one of the areas where I have listings, so I can. So you just type in the name. You select it from the drop-down menu that shows up, and then you click Create Order. Excuse me. All payments on Quantum Listing are done through PayPal. And so there's secure transactions. I'm not going to complete this transaction here and now because I don't need to. But so that's where you'll do that. Online advertisement is you're going to select your payment plan that you want. You start typing in the listing title to select the listing that you want to promote. Let's stick with Montvale. Sorry. Here, let's do Pleasantville. I gotta spread it around a little bit. And then if you want to get an alert when your budget is winding down, you click on Send a Renewal. And then you type in the location where you want that ad to show up. Scroll down, click Create Order, and that is all that one takes. And again, that transaction will get completed through PayPal. And listing promotion, this is going to get to be fairly familiar to you. So you choose the listings that you want to advertise. Sorry. Oh, that's bank. Hang on. This is going to be done based on the title. So, all right. So we'll pick new city and hit create order, and that will then take you to PayPal. And brand promotion would be the last one. You can see that I've been pretty active with this one here by all the orders I've placed. So here's a example of the image. So when you are creating these images, they should be 500 pixels wide by 600 pixels high. And when you're using something like Canva, that it makes it pretty easy. You just do custom dimensions for it. One advice I will give you is to not have the image or the text go all the way out to the edge. Even though Quantum Listing is a mobile responsive site, if things are zoomed in or zoomed out, you might find that some of the text or graphics isn't visible, so you want to make sure that there is a little space between your message and the edge of the image. You can customize, if you have a bigger image, you can select which part of it you want to use. But it's pretty easy to do. And then, so it's not sure I have a image teed up, but you would select the plan that you wanted, you enter the address, and then you search your computer, or you can drag and drop it if you prefer. I'm just going to take a random image and hope that it's not like one of my baby pictures or something. Yeah, there it is. It's me. So to select the part of the image that you want to use, you just drag this little thing, and this is in the proper aspect ratio here. And then you would scroll down and click create your order, and then you're done with that. Okay, so we can hang around and see if you guys have any more questions, but I'm going to end the recording now. And I want to thank all of you watching, either in real time or in the future, uh, for your time and attention today. And thank you to Julia and Andres for all their assistance in putting this information together. I want to thank our tech team and SEO experts for helping us put all these ideas into bits for us, and we really hope you'll give them a try. Let us know what you think about them by sending us an email. You can send it directly to me at david@quantumlisting.com, or send it to support@quantumlisting.com, or Andres or Julia at quantumlisting.com. Whoever you want to talk to, we're here for you, and we love to talk with our customers. So thanks again, and we will see you the next time.